advisory and financial planning services are offered through Simplicity Wealth, LLC, and SEC Registered Investment Advisor. SEC registration does not constitute nor endorse of the firm, nor does it indicate that the advisor has attained a particular level of skill nor ability. Investing involves risk of loss. Insurance, consulting, and education services offered through Diamond Life Planning is a separate and unaffiliated entity from Simplicity Wealth. This information is provided as a general information and is not intended to be specific financial guidance. Before you make any decisions regarding your personal financial situation, you should consult a financial or tax professional to discuss your individual circumstances and objectives.
Welcome to the Rock My Finances show on K4HD Radio and Talk4 TV, where we put the fun in finance. Join Powerhouse Jennifer Jose, CDFA, CMC, and Private Wealth Advisor, as she collaborates with you to create clarity, control, and confidence with your money, your way. It's not about the zeros, so what is it all about? Let's find out. Now here's your host and weekly friend, Jennifer Jose.
Welcome back to the Money Manifesting series. We are in chapter 7 right now. So you've missed a lot. You got to go check all the other ones out. Today is going to be really, really good. Women, do I feel worthy of more money? And what is holding me back? This goes for women and men, actually. But women come to it with a different train of thought because we are more emotional around our money. We have a relationship with it. So we're talking about the underneath, everything when it comes to money and what that is worthiness. Do we feel worthy? Because this isn't just about numbers, and it's not just about strategy and education and learning about money and listening to CNBC and, CNN and all that stuff. It's about how you feel about yourself when it comes to receiving, holding, growing, and spending your money. Here's an example. I like to spend my money because I believe that money is all energy. So I believe that we all wake up the same amount of hours in a day. We choose where we spend our energy. So if you go to a job, you take your energy, your skills, and your attributes to that job. You trade time for your salary. You get your paycheck and you say, thank you. Thank you. Here's my energy. And thank you for appreciating my energy. And here's money in the form of that. So now you have money. That's energy. It goes into the bank. So now your bank is a bunch of energy, all this money that's growing in there. And I've said before that we all have a temperature around money. We can accept so much money growing in our bank account because we feel worthy of it. But once it starts tipping that scale and gets larger than what we're used to, our worthiness comes to attack it. And we either find an experience to spend it or have to spend it. A bill might come up. A car might have a flat tire, whatever it might be. We would have to spend the money out of it. Or we create an experience to spend the money ourselves. We're going to go to Napa for the weekend and do wine tasting or go for a vacation or whatever. Whatever it is, we want that energy in our bank account, something that we feel worthy of. I hope that makes sense. If not, it will. Don't worry. So this is not about numbers. This is it's not about strategy. It's about how we feel about ourselves when we're receiving the money. Do we say thank you for our paycheck? Do we thank you to our clients for paying us however you get paid your money, your businesses, however you get paid? Receiving it, holding it in our bank accounts, in our investment accounts, in our house if we have cash, and growing it. So when we see our brokerage accounts growing, I had a couple of years, we doubled our money. Everybody doubled their investment money. How was that? Was it great? And spending it. Do you resent having to spend your money? Do you try to hang on to it so tight you never want it to leave? You never want it to go anywhere? Is that a belief you have? Does that equal security? And when you go to spend it, you have less security. So for a lot of women, this runs very, very, very deep. Not because you did anything wrong, but because what you were taught directly or indirectly growing up. So let's think about this for a minute. What did you see around money as a child? Was money talked about openly? Was it stressful? Was it quiet? Was it avoided? Did you see a adult paying the bills on a monthly basis? Did you see them stressed out paying the bills? You could have even saw fighting, arguments over money, over spending too much. You could have seen abuse, for sure. Financial abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse. You could have seen lies. Maybe one parent doesn't want the other parent to know what they're spending their money on. So then they're teaching you how to keep secrets and teaching you that it's not honest. Money brings out liars, basically, right? Did you hear things like, we can't afford that? Money doesn't grow on trees. Be careful. Don't ask for too much. Did you get bought your affection by money? I grew up in an alcoholic home, which I've said many times, and only a couple times. It wasn't a regular pattern, but I can count 2 times that my mom was so angry at my dad, she would take me out and go shopping. And I remember a sweater that I bought one time because my mom's frugal like me. I love that F word. I'm very frugal. And it was an extravagant sweater. It was very extravagant. I would have never spent that money on it. And then another time I got a jacket that was very extravagant that we would have never spent that. She would have never spent that money on that time. Now, we used to shop at Mervyn's. Remember Mervyn's back in the day? Mervyn's, Grant's. I can't remember. Anyways, I was raised in California. So that's where we shopped. There was no Nordstrom's, Macy's, Saks. There was none of that. So I grew up frugal and knowing that. And so I knew that there was something going on with that money during that time, that she would be spending something so crazy, right? So it's not about the money. It's about the feeling behind the money. And maybe it wasn't even about money. Maybe it's about being nice. Did you hear that? I mean, I was raised, I had a best friend that was in the church, and it was a Baptist church. It was fun. I really enjoyed going there. We went to missionettes on Wednesdays. We went to youth group on Fridays. We went to church on Sundays, and then we went for lunch, and then we went back to church on Sunday nights. So I enjoyed it. It was fun, but it did teach girls to be quiet and nice. That was my lesson that I got out of church. And if not, Jesus was not going to love me. I wasn't going to be good enough. And I never did feel good enough going to church. I have to say, that's just an aha that I just had and shared with you. There you go. Thanks for the therapy. Okay. Don't be too much. Don't be too loud. Don't be too greedy. Don't want to buy expensive things. Don't try to outshine other people. Don't be boisterous and ostentatious, right? It could be so many different things, like calm down, relax, that kind of thing. And what happens over time is those messages start to shape how you see yourself. And we've all done this. I'm a parent as well, and I know that I've done this so much, still doing it. Thank God my daughter speaks up to me now, but you don't know. We really don't know. We don't get a handbook, right? And so we don't know what we're doing. And our parents didn't know either. So this is not about blame or judgment. It's just about noticing so we can change it. We might not even realize it, but they do become beliefs about what's safe, what's allowed, and what you deserve. So if we don't feel nice enough, like I just had that aha about church, I never felt good enough to be in that church. So that is the beginning of not feeling good enough, right? And then being very different, that my parents were always out partying and drinking. And, a lot of my other friends' parents didn't. And so I felt like an outcast or less than, or not as good. Well, I turned that into money, right? My relationship with money. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy enough to have millions. All of that all boils down to that. So beliefs about what's safe, what's allowed, and what you deserve. So now fast forward to today. You're smart. You're capable. You're hardworking. You got a great job. You love your boss. You work your butt off. You might have a degree. You might have been a business owner forever and really worked and worked and worked. Like my parents' business was 7 days a week, 365 days a year. I worked my whole life every day. There was no vacations. There was none of that. If we did, we had to stay close enough to where my dad could come back to work. So that was just the way I grew up. And that's okay. But when it comes to money, something feels off. You hesitate a little bit. You second guess yourself. You undervalue yourself. A lot of women undervalue ourselves. We never ask for a raise or promotion. Like we go above and beyond. Like it's so funny. So we just had COVID, right? Several years ago. And everybody was so worried about women being at home and not being on the clock or in the office. And I am telling you, women get way more stuff done for their company when they're at home because they can get everything done. They don't have to have stress. So women put in way more hours over COVID than they ever did before. And I know I'm generalizing for sure. And I'm 62, so it could be the women that I know. I don't know. But there's no need to worry about working. We all, I feel like a majority of us work way more than what we're being paid for. And I know I'm in the financial industry. And so we do because things need to happen no matter what. So I feel like we do undervalue ourselves for sure. You might even feel uncomfortable receiving more. Like a lot of us start with compliments. What do you say when someone compliments you? I mean, I've had the bad habit of, oh, that old thing, or I tell them I bought them on sale because I'm a frugal fanny. I love being frugal and I'm proud of that. And so, oh, yeah, I thought this is such a great deal. Or, I just did it the other day. Someone gave me a compliment and I said something, my green jacket for St. Patrick's Day. And I had a little stain here. I think I don't know when I put on my makeup or I did something and I showed him that. And she's like, you didn't have to show me that. I'm like, you're right. What the hell did I show that to you for? Like, it's so funny. Like, why do we do that? Sometimes it doesn't even make sense and it's on the surface. We don't even realize it's happening, but it's actually beneath and a lot of things are happening underneath the surface, right? So that big old iceberg, we only see the little top of it, but there's so much underneath. And that's what I want you to do is I want you to look at what's underneath, not feeling worthy. Your part, because the part of you operating from those earlier beliefs are underneath, right? And your brain is trying to keep you in what feels familiar, which means the temperature of your money, your savings account, your brokerage accounts, your 401ks, it wants you to grow a certain amount for it to feel comfortable. The income coming in monthly, it wants you to have a certain amount that's been used to and that it can be acceptable. It wants you to be in that familiar place, even though it is a limitation. So we have to blow that out of the water. So the question isn't just, how do I make more money? The question is, do I feel safe and worthy of receiving more money? Dun, dun, dun. Yep. Do I feel safe and worthy of receiving more money? Because the answer is no, even a little bit, if your behavior will reflect that. So you might hold yourself back, stay smaller than you are, avoid for asking for more, avoid, or even feel uncomfortable when things start expanding. I know I did. I started making more money and it was weird. It was weird. I was making six figures and then I went up to like over 200,000 and then I went a little bit higher and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's when it started feeling really weird because it was now all my bills are paid. All my savings accounts are saved and I'm putting, all my money away. And then it was even more on top of that. So for me, it was excess money. And when it was excess money, it was like, wow, okay, something's happening here. And that's when I started to get my own coach and get my stuff together so that I could get rid of my limiting beliefs. This is not because you can't do it. It's because it doesn't fully feel like you yet. You can absolutely step into that person that's going to accept all that money. And that's what we're here for. We want to do that. This is really important. Worthiness is not something that you prove. It's something that you allow. Okay? And it doesn't happen overnight. You build it the same way we've been talking about this entire series, step by step, through our thoughts, through our emotions, through our identity. So this is where you bring in all your tools again. So when you notice that hesitation, that doubt creeping in, the feeling of, I don't know if I can do this, any hesitation whatsoever, don't just push through it. I want you to pause. I want you to do the diamond reset. We want to stop, breathe, feel that hesitation, Then we shift it one level up the emotional scale, sorry. We need to know what's going on so that we can clear that old pattern, that old belief. And when you begin to shift your thinking gently, not forcing it, you're not going to pretend you're confident or a badass. You want to build it slowly. And it could be fast, it could be overnight, but I want you to just feel it. Wouldn't it be nice if, right? That's what we start doing it. Wouldn't it be nice if? Then I'm starting to feel, and then I'm becoming someone who, and it is nice that I am. All right. So the first one, wouldn't it be nice if I trusted myself with more money? Wouldn't it be nice if I felt really good when I got an extra big bonus? Wouldn't it be nice if I knew exactly what to do with all my money when I doubled my income? I'm starting to feel more capable. I'm starting to feel more confident. I'm starting to feel like I deserve more money. I'm starting to feel worthy of more money. I am becoming someone who handles money very well. I am becoming someone who loves money. I am becoming someone who knows about money. I am becoming someone who feels really good about having lots of money. I am becoming someone who likes money in the excess. It is nice that I am growing into a confident woman. It is nice that I'm growing into a woman of wealth. It is nice that I am feeling worthy of more money. It is nice that I am badass. It is nice that I am feeling wonderful every day. All these little things, right? But we're building it slowly. And here's what starts to happen. You begin to see yourself differently. And when your identity shifts, your behavior follows. Yes, I promise you. You speak up more. You might talk at parties more. You actually might go to parties more. You make clear decisions. They feel better and they're easier, quicker. They're more decisive and they feel really good. You stop shrinking yourself. And that's where the Diamond Life 3Cs come in, because when you start to see yourself clearly, that's clarity. When you trust yourself more, that's control. And when you trust your decisions, that's confidence. So if you've ever felt something is holding you back with money, I want you to consider this. It may not be your ability. It may not be your knowledge. It may be the version of you that you've been taught to be. And now, just because it isn't familiar doesn't mean you cannot become someone new. It's about allowing yourself to become who you already are without the limits and that you've learned along the way. So we just want to release the limits. And this is where everything begins to change. Are you ready for a short exercise? All right, here we go. Keep this calm, simple, and not overwhelming. Just a quick exercise that you can do. Bring out your money journal. You can do it right now. You can do it later. It's not complicated, just awareness. Take a piece of paper, open your notes, write this at the top. What do I believe about myself when it comes to money? What do I believe about myself when it comes to money? You might write, I'm not good with money. I always feel behind. You might write, I have to work really hard for money. I don't know if I can handle more money. I don't know how to make more money. Money scares me. I'm not good with money. I always lose money. I never have enough money. All of those things, right? Notice what comes up. Then you want to ask yourself the second question. Along each sentence that comes up, I want you to spend a little bit of time with this. This is groundbreaking. This is what I do in my coaching. Want to ask yourself, where did I learn this? Who did I learn this from? So then we're going to go back to the first statement on your page. I'm not good with money. Where did I learn this? Well, my dad always yelled at my mom about the bills. So I learned it from my mom. You might be great with money. but you're taking on that persona. Since your mom's not good with money, you're not good with money. Where did I learn this? I could have learned it because I charged up credit cards in college. And then I paid off my debt and moved on, so that you might have had that stigma in your head from here on out that you're not good with money. You might be a spender. A lot of people are emotional spenders. They want to find some type of joy in their life, and so they'll go spend money. And that brings them a very short-lived joy, just like eaters, overeaters, right? Or bad eaters, I should say, right? Anything that makes us feel good. The only reason why we want it, no matter what it is to make us feel better. That's it. Money, food, sex, gambling, travel, a partner. We just think we're going to feel better when we have it. So that's why we want it. So we want to know where we learned this. Was it something you heard growing up? Was it something you actually experienced? Was it something you picked up from watching others? And the most important part, ask yourself, is this actually true now? Or is this something I've been carrying? Because most of the time, it's something that you've been carrying, not something that you choose today as this adult badass woman. And if you didn't consciously choose it, you can start to shift it and release it and let it go. You don't have to fix it all at once, but just seeing it is the first step to change. So here's one of my mantras that we grew up with. Working hard, we make money. Like we worked 7 days a week, 365 days a year. That's just what our business was. So working hard made money. And we did. We had a good life growing up. I had a waterbed. I had a TV in my room. I had a phone in my room. You know, I did okay. I got a car when I was 16. And then I bought my own car. So working hard make money. Well, I busted that out the year that I took some time off and relaxed and didn't go in Fridays and Mondays, and I doubled my income. So I blasted that belief out. That's not true. Working hard does not create more money. It just doesn't. It's your mindset around worthiness of attracting the more money, receiving the more money, allowing the more money. So I had to change that belief. I had another belief. I'm not worthy of money. If you know my story, I suffered a tragedy when I was 29. And of course, I made some mistakes with all of that. And so I felt like I wasn't worthy of joy and love and money. I had a beautiful coach, Mavu, at the time, and she helped me clear that belief. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgive myself, move on, and I'm absolutely worthy of all the money, wealth, and joy this universe can give me and I can receive. Once I cleared that, doubled my income that year. So yes, we can do this quickly, easily, and simply, but you don't have to do it alone. You can definitely reach out. There's lots of great money coaches out there. Of course, I know one that's really good that can help you. You want to have your financial plan done. You don't have to go into that by yourself. Like, I don't go in my garage by myself because I have so many memories, so many losses, so much in there, so many mementos and all that. I just don't like to do it by myself because it can be very emotional. So I always grab a friend before I go through my garage and go out through stuff. Same thing with your finances. It's emotional. It's really emotional. You might have a divorce or two, like my first husband, I'm a widow. You know, there's some things in our finances and some mistakes that we might have made or we felt that we might have made. And so you don't have to go into it by yourself. No judgment, no blame. It's just data collecting so we can shift the old beliefs and step into the badass woman that I know you are. Thank you so much for listening to this series. Keep watching, keep listening to it. I want you all to be able to manifest whatever your dreams are and walk away saying, I rock my finances.
We appreciate you joining us today, and don't forget to subscribe to the Rock My Finances YouTube channel for more engagement and bonus content. Tell me, what is your money story? Let's find out with Jennifer right here on K4HD Radio and Talk4 TV. It's not about the zero, it's about the F word, feelings. Feelings Jennifer can't wait to explore with you next week. Until then, let's all say, I rock my finances.